の権利だけだから、次は必ずベルト、そうチャンピオンシップに勝ってこのイオシライ様がチャンピオンになるところを見せてやるからな。まあそのために私はちょっとばかり休んでたと言っても過言ではない。まあ休んでたって私は誰にでも勝てるってことなんだよ。イオシライナンバーワン。
What's going on this Good Friday? I hope it's a good Friday wherever you are, that you are listening to the War Report. As always, I'm your host, Murjani Rawls, and I'm always joined by my colleague, friend, Cyrus. Cyrus, what's going on? How you feeling? I'm coming from live from Club Quarantine again.
Did you see that the Revival finally got their release?
I just saw that.
I guess this will be another watch. Honestly, I think if they I think this is the worst time to get their release. Honestly, Jesus Christ, WWE is evil. But I would say if they don't go to NWA Power, what a loss! They're literally perfect for that, perfect for that brand, that promotion, the company, just like their aesthetic and all. So I think if they go anywhere but there or like a New Japan or something, I definitely think they definitely lost. Big loss for them, at least.
Well, with any like granted release, there's like that 90-day clause, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of agree with you that it is kind of evil kind of doing it now because they can't really wrestle for the time being. Because, I mean, coronavirus, maybe they could still get signed somewhere, but they're going to be on hold, Who knows what... So I guess like April, May, June, July, when their release is up. Like, who knows what the state of everything is going to be? It could still be all in quarantine, I don't know if you're going to have live shows then. So, kind of going off what you just said, like, I think basically their style, that they're an old school tag team, I would agree that NWA Power would be really dope. I don't know if they really, have developed their tag team division. Even though, it could be headlined by the Revival or whatever they're going to be called. But I have a feeling that they're going to go straight to AEW.
I just think it doesn't fit them, and I don't think it looks really good for AEW to sign another disgruntled WWE employees.
Yeah, they just signed 2.
Right? And I just don't think, I don't think it works for them over there, honestly. I will be glad to be proven wrong, of course, always. That is always a thing. But I just don't think it works for them over there. What's going to happen? They're going to wrestle Death Triangle a couple times. They're finally going to wrestle the Young Bucks, and then now that dream match is over. And then what? What is really the long-term plan? You're literally perfect for this brand in general that is NWA Power, where they could literally do all the old school wrestling stuff that you're a fan of, that you kind of represent, I've never seen a team so perfect that's probably going to go to AEW, And, if the bag is bigger, chase it. But, you're perfect for NWA Power.
Oh, yeah. Jim Cornette loves them because they're just the older team. You know what I mean? They're that old school Smoky Mountain Wrestling type style team. And plus with AEW, they're already loaded with tag teams. They already have tag teams that can't really get on the show. Private Party and guys like that. So, adding another tag team that you're going to have to feature, Um, I don't know, man. Like, it's
Like you're like if I'm the revival, I'm just gonna have to like look at the the current landscape that is going on over there and just be like yeah, like maybe not everything is about the money. So if everything was about the money, they probably would have stayed in WWE. But you just have to look at the current landscape and just see that there's no real space for you over there. Like that's just how it is. Like you said, like the tag team division is fairly loaded. And then I just think
well, if they wanted to do New Japan, uh,
easy.
well, they need tag teams over there. Need tag teams.
Yeah. And if they go to New Japan, it could be, they can still be themselves. They could still be the Revival, and it could be like an old school, like a Stan Hansen kind of thing, like easy work, like being away. Like I understand, like being away from your family is pretty, like, pretty bad, pretty shitty, but yeah, I think even like New Japan would be perfect. Like you bring even that old school style to New Japan, which I'm sure that fans or myself would appreciate.
Well, I'm just glad that they got what they wanted, because clearly they were not happy.
They were so
reports,
unhappy that they re-signed.
well, I mean, like if you got offered $500,000 and then you got the tag titles, like you would re-sign too. But at the same time, if you read reports, they were offered even more, and then they were just kept like turning them down. So at that point, you might as well just let them go. And they finally did that. I think this is, like I said, best on both sides, and I wish them well. Wherever they go. Just a weird climate to do that, like.
Right, and I like the tweet that says effective today.
Yeah, I don't know, like. So if it's effective today, did they waive the 90-day, or like?
I've never really actually like clicked the article. Let's see. You don't have to really read the article because it doesn't really say much, but it doesn't say anything about the 90-day clause. Honestly, I don't know where the hell you're going to find work. So if they don't give you a 90-day clause, the world is giving you a 90-day clause.
Yeah, because most, like, ROH is not doing shows. New Japan just canceled a whole bunch of shows through May 3rd. I think Dynamite did a whole slew of tapings. I don't know if they're going to do any more. And the only kind of corporation they're doing tapings now is the WWE. You just left. So.
Good luck in your future endeavors, man. When the world is looking better outside, I hope you find the work.
Yeah. So to go a little bit more in the trenches, let's talk about a little bit about Charlotte versus Rhea at Mania. What'd you think about the match?
I like that when they were like screaming and moaning, everybody was just not watching porn. Like everybody decided to make that same joke at the exact same time. But I think I liked it. I liked it a lot. There were some points where Charlotte was really attacking the knee. And then at some point, Rhea kind of like stopped selling it at some point, but like, it all comes together at the end. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good match. The result, we had to keep a very close eye on this match for the show in general. But I thought it was a really good match just altogether. I really wish would the result change if people were there? Who knows? Maybe not, but it is what it is.
I don't think so. I thought that they both worked hard. I knew that they were going to work hard. When I saw that she was selling the knee, I was like, okay, I figured that this is going to be the way it went, and then like Rhea would kind of fight back like as a babyface and just, maybe pull off the win. But
yeah.
But Charlotte lost last WrestleMania. I mean, to no fault of her own. But I didn't picture her losing another big pay-per-view. So, like, when she won, I was just like, oh. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't really shocked or surprised. It was just like, oh, okay. That's a new wrinkle in NXT because, as we saw, Bianca is on Raw now. Thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been asking for that for about a month. Like, it's like, thanks, thanks Triple H for like letting her go.
And I think it's really good that like now that like they're keeping them away from each other. Like as soon as she is going back to NXT, Bianca got the call up, so I think that works out really well. People that wanted Bianca to be NXT champion, sorry, but I think the call up is just as good. Not everybody becomes an NXT Women's Champion, and that's okay. But a lot of women that aren't NXT champions are very successful currently. So I think she'll be okay.
No, I don't think that's the thing. Like, when she lost against Shayna the first time, I was mad because I was like, okay, you know what I mean? This is where you should have. You were building up. This is where you should have kind of like let Shayna drop to her. But then when she lost the second time, I was like, okay, there's nothing there's nothing else for her to do here.
So
it was like
when she lost the first time, I was just like, oh, okay. But when she when she tapped in the Fatal 4-Way, I was just like, all right, come on, guys. Kairi Sane was right there.
Yeah, I mean, Kairi ended up tapping anyway. Like in their rematch, and then Kairi, like much like how Becky won in WrestleMania, that's how Kairi won the title the first time against Shayna. And she already beat Shayna in the Mae Young Classic final. Like I just thought that like looking at Bianca and looking at her trajectory, it was more as I saw her against Becky. I saw her against Charlotte. I saw her against Bayley. Like not every big personality in NXT needs a title reign. It's just too many people down there, or not down there. It's the third brand now. So like there's just too many people in the PC right now that like you can even do that to. You would have to hand off that, the title every 2 months to somebody, and that's not how NXT does things. They usually long title reigns. So
very, very long.
Yeah, so I was just, Charlotte adds a new wrinkle to NXT. She's the veteran. She's an 11-time champion. She was a champion at NXT in its inception. Now you have prestige, I guess, like prestige there because she was kind of drifting, waiting in the wings and Raw.
Yeah.
So, like, you give her new challenges now. Like, a whole slew of new challengers.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important part is that, like, okay, like, Charlotte is going back to NXT, but NXT is different now. There is the women's division there is completely different now. And then you get to see, a lot of these women, they basically have to more or less, like, I don't like, regardless of like how you feel about Charlotte, but like a lot of these women are going to have to level up to Charlotte, So Charlotte is on like a whole different playing field. And I think a lot of these women are going to really have to like, really get their shit together, to really even be, a threat to Charlotte,
Yeah. I mean, that means Vanessa Bourne and
Good.
Aaliyah, and like they will have to, step up. Uh,
Yeah.
so we did a poll. We took uh, answers from our RNC Radio Twitter followers to ask, see who you thought before we get into the show. Like we asked you thought was going to be Charlotte, challenging Charlotte for the title. I thought that
Yes.
the slew of answers was going to be EO. I think you thought so as well. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you, like Cyrus, read them off. Like we'll react to
Okay.
them real fast. Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
thank you to everybody that sent in, that filled out the sheet.
Yeah,
A lot of people that I see on Twitter, so that's really great. Shout outs to Mania Curiosity, our friend John that's in the group chat, Logan, who I see on the TL, Adam, who no, I don't think his name is Adam, but he was on the A show recently. A Sadler 3, really cool guy. He was amazing on the episode, and Monday Night Ron, really cool.
cool.
But yeah, just as we thought, like
Everybody
it
said
was going to be EO. Yeah, we have 3 for EO.
Okay.
And 3 for EO, and then 2 for Dakota Kai.
All right.
And I threw in a curveball bonus question in there because I didn't think that who should challenge Charlotte was good enough, because we were gonna get we're gonna get that answer fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So I asked the people who you think will dethrone Charlotte. And people voted for Dakota Kai to challenge Charlotte next, but none of them thought that Dakota Kai would be the one to take it away from Charlotte. So everybody, so we got a lot of votes for Io Shirai, but everybody is really hoping for Rhea Ripley to people think that Rhea Ripley will win it back from Charlotte. What do you think about that?
I would hate for Io Shirai to be a bridge contender
It's too late.
just to lose. Io is just awesome.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Too bad. She's on. Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah, I know. I would hate that to be it. It's just Io is there to challenge Charlotte again, and then she loses, only for Rhea Ripley to triumphantly return and win the NXT title. I don't know if Charlotte is just a layover for a while until SummerSlam, or if we're even gonna get a SummerSlam at this point. Rhea. I think Rhea. Okay, so I think Rhea is eventually gonna win it back. I think she is. It's just, man, I'm really pulling for Io to win it. I really do. I really want her to.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm on the same boat, but I can also be all right,
yeah, you got to be realistic.
Yeah, do I want Io Shirai to win? Do I want to see her have the championship? Of course, I would love to see it. But being the first challenger for Charlotte, fresh off of WrestleMania, 11, 10-time, whatever the fuck world champion she is, and first title defense, I just don't see Io taking it. But the thing is that it doesn't have to end after the first title match.
True.
Io, the story with Io and Charlotte can keep going, and I don't think people really know that yet. People feel
we don't even know when Io is gonna get the
yeah, we don't even know when the match is gonna happen. So I think Io Io may lose the first time, and maybe middle round of mid card or so, mid card again or something, and then maybe she's that damn good that she can possibly like win herself another title match. So we don't really know, but it like I feel like everybody knows that she's not going to win, so everybody's already upset about it.
Well, I'm thinking,
and I'm just like, oh, like you might as well just enjoy the ride, maybe.
I'm just thinking of two schools of thought. Like, I like Rhea Ripley. Like, I think her push is well deserved. She's worked hard, but it's like, what is NXT gonna do basically with this kind of new class that they're showing? Are they gonna do these long title reigns all the time? Like, are they going to switch it up a little bit? I don't know, because I don't know if you want to put Charlotte down there. I gotta stop saying down there. Over in NXT, and basically like have her have a short title reign. I don't think you're gonna do that.
Well, Charlotte is accustomed to having short title reigns.
Oh, yeah.
Let's like.
Well, not like Sasha
let's look
Banks.
At history.
Not like Sasha Banks short title reigns, but
well, sometimes Sasha Banks short.
Well, all the time.
Where yeah, but like when her and Sasha were hot potatoing it. Well, when she won it against Becky and then she lost it to Bayley. Charlotte is accustomed to short title reigns, so who knows? Her second NXT title reign might not last that long, and just based on the current climate, like you might not even see Charlotte a lot on NXT at all.
Yeah,
so
I don't think you're gonna see her a lot.
So, God knows how this is gonna happen. I doubt that NXT is gonna like throw a swerve and then have Charlotte lose her first title defense against Io.
That would be some crazy shit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be some crazy shit. But I just don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm gonna enjoy the ride. People are very upset about it, and they're just gonna sit in their hate for this match with no date to happen. It's just like, well, why do you want to live like that?
I'm just cautiously pessimistic because, like you said, like I have no idea because I know they're taping. I have no idea what's coming on the tape. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea where they're gonna go. So
I'm just gonna enjoy the ride, man. Like no matter what the result is, like I like Charlotte, so like I like both competitors, so I don't really care who wins or loses here. So it is what it is. People that is on your make it make sense, or
well, I mean,
I don't get it. Why Charlotte this? Why Charlotte that? Like it like you're just gonna have to read the room here.
She's just Charlotte.
Yeah. Regardless how you feel about her, she is a multi-time women's champion. The women in NXT are going to have to level up. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But like, Io, Stardom, this and that. And it's just like Stardom is in a whole different universe.
Yeah, but
that shit don't matter here.
All right. Yeah. But like Io is like, let's just say that Io is one of the best wrestlers in the whole WWE.
Yeah.
So like,
and,
I don't know.
And she's going to showcase that regardless if she wins or loses against Charlotte.
Yeah. I totally agree with
that. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to conform to all the hate for Charlotte and being really sad that Io Shirai is going to lose. So
well, we don't. I mean, like I said, like we don't know. Like we don't know.
Or I'm not going to conform into that mindset. I guess or whatever. Like, I'm not just going to sit here being upset that the possibility that Io might not win,
Yeah. So let's get in and let's talk about this show a little bit. Like we alluded to, Io won the ladder match. Any thoughts on the ladder match?
Really, really good ladder match. I thought there was some weird stuff in the ladder match. but overall didn't matter. Probably like the Rob Stone and Chelsea Green stuff. Like she took a nasty bump that like
her
leg spot, but Rob Stone decided to like try and help her up the ladder.
Very James
But
Ellsworth.
but he goes on the opposite side of the ladder, which I don't understand. You should just like it might not be PG, but you could have like helped like hoisted up Chelsea Green from your shoulders and stuff.
Well, they already did that spot with Raquel, with Dakota, so it would look weird to do that twice. You know what I mean?
It would look weird, trying to drag somebody up the ladder from the opposite side. Like it just didn't seem smart to me. But everybody else in this match is really fantastic. Candice LeRae took a nasty bump as well.
Shit, so did Mia and Raquel.
Yeah.
With the Mia has been going.
I think
wild.
everybody. Well, Mia Yim took. Well, I don't think she took a nasty bump. She delivered a nasty one and just never got up. Like the power bomb onto the table from the top rope. I thought that was sick. And then Dakota Kai kicking Tegan Nox in the face onto the ladder, where Tegan Nox sold that shit like she died.
Yeah, she just kind of like
her body was like, yeah, she was just like, I think the arm makes it, how she was just like hunched over and limp. This match was really good. I like that everybody was like, everybody that Dakota did wrong was basically in that match, except like Chelsea Green, but like, and they all decided to attack her. I thought that was really nice. Raquel getting involved was really nice as well. This was a really good match. I liked it a lot.
I liked it. I think it's paving a way for me and Raquel to definitely happen. Dakota and Tegan are not done. That, like you said, like that was a nasty bump that Dakota that Tegan took. There was a nasty ladder spot that Candice took. Like she full back on that ladder, and of course. And
that shit hurted.
And of course, Io wins. Rinku and Sarov match. That was another showcase with Malcolm Bivens. Obviously, they're going to be the next big thing in tag team division. What do you think about them so far?
I think they're very. I think they're unique. I like their look. So far, I'm gonna like they face like a couple jobbers, so like I'm not like my thoughts aren't like too extensive on it, but they beat the hell out of them, and I like their finish, their finisher. It's kind of like the War Raiders Fallout joint, but
yeah,
it's cool. Not too much. I do. I outside, I do like the Malcolm Bivens involvement. Like him cutting their promos is really nice, and like Morrow reading off Malcolm Bivens' Twitter bio, even though it's all lies, is like hilarious.
I think like AOP used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a good, powerful tag team that kind of runs roughshod in that tag division. Now that Undisputed Era's gone, most likely after Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream do what they have to do, and I'm and more Malcolm Bivens is always a good thing.
Yeah, and I think the AEW tag team division was missing a big tag team. Since like all the Haas basically like migrated to the damn the North American title scene, so there's just been missing a really like the Haas tag team.
So we might as well move on to Gargano and Ciampa. This was a 48-minute cinematic
final beat.
final match, whatever you want to call it. Mad callbacks. Ending that left me baffled a little bit. I thought it ran a little too long. I am glad that they are not fighting anymore. It was good.
Yeah.
It just went. Commercial breaks. I mean, the commercial breaks kind of like, I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Without commercials, it would probably be 40 minutes, I would guess. But, like,
Yeah.
it was. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So I know people have been like waiting for my thoughts. I'm not gonna fault them for the commercial breaks.
Well, you have to do it.
You know, yeah, like I know we've been spoiled, like, because you know the Firefly Funhouse match and the Boneyard match had the luxury of being on, you know, Mania or like the WWE Network, so they didn't really have to run commercials. So that's that was nice for them. But like here, like I completely understand. So I'm not gonna knock points for that, but I will say like I just felt like the commercial happening like 3 minutes into the match, it kind of like took me out of it when I was like ready to dive in, you know. When I realized it was like it was a cinematic match, I was just like, oh shit, I'm in it, like I'm really feeling it. And then like the bell rung, and then they wrestled for 2 minutes, and then went into commercial break, and it kind of like slapped me in the face. I was just like, oh man, I was really deep in it. But just like some of the gripes that I have with the match is that they're kind of just having a normal wrestling match. Well, like not like their normal wrestling match that they would have on NXT, like on a takeover or something. Because we seen how like active they can get, but like this is a wrestling match, and like they didn't cut out the parts where they're just laying down, you know. The rest spots, or you know, just the downtime between when they wrestle. Like there's points where they kind of are just standing around, or you know, just laying down. It is what it is. I don't not a big fan of the brawling on top of the truck or when they went outside, because they didn't really get too extreme up there. They kind of just like hopped all the way up there, did a couple holds, went to commercial, and they were off it. Like I just thought they could have just did like a brawl, like Edge and Orton did, but you know, probably just do a little more. Like I didn't think the truck stuff was really amazing.
Well, I thought,
but I think everything after that was really good.
Well, with that, like if they would have just cut to like did a whole bunch of crazy cuts where like they weren't kind of laying around and selling, it would be weird. Like it's just like, oh, yeah, all right, he hit the spot, and then all of a sudden like there's like this micro cut, and then they're doing the other, like, you know what I mean? Like so you had to sell like, there, and you had to kind of stall for time a little bit.
Yeah, like there is stalling for time there, and just like, you know, people that just know me knows like there's certain stuff in wrestling matches that I just don't like, and it really takes me out of it. And this match kind of had a lot of it, where you know, constant outside brawling, which, you know, what else could I really expect here? But like I don't know. I feel like if they were in the ring a little bit more, you know, just doing the standard stuff, I think it would have been it would have been a lot better for me.
Okay.
But when I was really getting into the match, you know, I would get taken out of it some shape or form. Like I was really into the match, and then Candice LeRae showed up. And
well,
like,
okay, let's talk about the ending a little bit.
Okay.
You know, Candice. It's weird because like she did a promo 2 weeks before that saying like, you know, she's not just Johnny Gargano's wife. You know what I mean? She's here to make a name for herself. And then she kind of interjects into the match where like she's like, you know, like, are you happy with both? And then she low blows Johnny. So she comes back and she low blows Tomasso. But it reveals that Johnny's wearing a cup, and then Johnny gets the win there after doing the fairy tale ending on the, just like the wood, and I was like, all right, he's turned into Tomasso, and then Tomasso was remorseful, but I guess Candace is a heel now because clearly she was in on it. So I'm like, this is how it ends. Like he needs help.
Yeah, like this doesn't seem like an ending that would happen for a final match. Like I would want something more definitive, but like this is a little weird to me. Where because like Ciampa could easily come back and be like, "No, you didn't beat me fair and square." You suck. and at the same time, I think that works if Johnny is going to turn heel or whatever, because like this is the final match. Like you don't get a rematch now. So you're just gonna have to stew in that loss. And I think that's very shitty. But being a heel, like, who gives a shit? Like I won. But who knows? It like the cup reveal thing. It was so stupid that I love it. Like I'm not gonna be like so like when the cup was revealed, I laughed like very hard. So like I was entertained. So I'm not gonna knock points for it. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like a really definitive finish that you would have for the final beat.
I massively eye rolled.
It's a weird ending.
I'm massively
It's a weird ending.
I was just like, come on. You know what I mean? Like this is their last match, and I'm not expecting any like blood or anything here, but it's like
shit. I was.
But like like. I'm like, that's it. That's all. Like, if this is the last time they're gonna fight in NXT, maybe if Tomasso's not moving to SmackDown or Raw. He's already said that. So, if this is the last time, I want a definitive end, and I guess I got it. But like, I got some fuckery with it. So it was just like, all right, this is it.
Yeah. And you remember last week when you said when you asked me, do you think Killer Cross is going to get involved?
Well, he was there.
Well, and I said if he pops up during the match, like auto like negative stars. I kind of we didn't get Killer Cross as a interference, but we did get Candice LeRae. And like I don't know, like it's just like that interference did like bother me in a sense.
Yeah,
but
I wasn't expecting that. I will give them that.
Yeah.
I did not expect the whole cup thing. We did get Killer Cross. I mean, he was in the car with Scarlett, so I guess it's going to be Johnny and Candice versus Johnny and Candice and Killer Cross with Scarlett in some form.
I thought it was very funny that they're just chilling in the car with the light on and they didn't notice. Like, I don't know. If I see somebody in the car with their light on, I'll be like, hey, you good? Nobody just chills in the car with their light on.
Yeah, they just cool walk by. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Tomasso and Candice LeRae are, they do the sneaky, dirty heel thing. So is Killer Cross or whatever he's going to be named and Scarlett, are they going to be the faces in the feud?
Well,
they slowly push Gargano out?
Oh, I think you got them mixed. It's Gargano and Candice, and then Tomasso.
I'm sorry.
Maybe because technically, right now, like Gargano's a heel. Like that was a very heelish move. Like Tomasso was the one who was remorseful. He was saying, I'm sorry," and stuff like that. So yeah. So Killer Cross would be like the avenging anti-hero babyface in this feud if they do that.
I'm ready for it. Now like this is a weird means to an end. But we're finally going to be moving on, and I think we're just going to have to move forward. Like, do I wish it was better? Yeah, sure. I wish a lot of things could have been better, but it is what it is.
Yeah, cut that down.
That's
man. It was like way too long.
Yeah, yeah.
One final program note for NXT. Next week, the interim cruiserweight title tournament happens because Jordan Devlin can't get over here, unfortunately. So that starts next week. I'm not sure I don't think they've announced the participants yet, so we will see. I would guess it'll probably be on the Bump or on social media sites before NXT on Wednesday. So we'll see the brackets there. To round out the show, let's talk about AEW. They gave Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker time, about 22 minutes.
They had no choice.
I liked the match until until Britt Baker basically broke. It looked like she broke her nose on the enziguri that was short for Hikaru. Then it was weird because one of the false finishes with Britt doing the doing her finishing move, and then she's trying to get the glove from the ref, and I'm like, that's cross contamination.
I thought that was so stupid. That was so stupid. Just don't do your finisher because you have to put your fingers in her mouth, but just do the lock. Just do the lock without it. Or maybe rake at her eyes or choke her or something. Just don't put your fucking fingers in her damn mouth. But I thought asking the ref for their gloves, I thought that was the dumbest thing ever.
Well, I mean, the ref gave her the glove. She couldn't get the glove on, and Hikaru ended up breaking out anyway. It just looked bad, and then it did a sequence where it didn't look like they knew how to go home. Because they would do finish it. Then it kind of dragged going into Hikaru winning, and I'm like, this was a good match until that point. I hope Britt is okay, but as soon as her nose busted, I was like, okay, this is kind of falling apart a bit.
Yeah, I know people on Twitter that are just like, oh, that's so smart. She's asking for the gloves because how the world is outside. Oh man, that's so genius. But it kind of ruined the match.
But it's not only that. In the time of Corona, if somebody's wearing the glove already, and then you put the glove on, that's cross contamination. With your
bloody hand.
Yeah, with a bloody hand, and then you're trying to put your fingers in somebody's mouth. You've now potentially got 3 people sick. It just wasn't a smart move. I was just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I just thought it was a little weird, but it was a really good match. I love Hikaru Shida, and Britt Baker is getting a lot better with her.
I really like
her heel character.
As a heel. Hikaru has won the last 7 out of 8. She's on a roll. We had Brody Lee and Lance Archer squashes again.
Go
ahead.
They signed Anna Jay, we asked.
They did.
That is so nice of them to do.
I liked what I saw from her. That's a good get from them. Yeah,
that's great.
I liked. I mean, I don't know if they could get a lot of female wrestlers to wherever they're shooting. So I can't fault them.
I'm okay with that.
In time of Corona, but I do like that they started top of the show with a women's match, and they gave them a lot of time. That was really dope. I'll give them that. Brody Lee and Lance Archer had squashes again. Brody Lee, he killed that indie wrestler.
Yeah. Killed him. Ow. The whole hopefully we get a real match soon.
Well, we should for
Like,
at least Lance Archer. He's got to go against Colt
yeah.
Cabana in the tournament. Hey, Brody Lee, I don't know.
Yikes.
Um,
Yeah. I want to see the guy that we've been missing, because if we're gonna compare squash matches, Lance Archer chucked Marco Stunt into the crowd, so you're gonna have to beat that, and he didn't. So it is what it is. Hopefully we get to see more of Brody Lee wrestling and not, these backstage vignettes or like these segments, because I'm tired of them. And Cody coming out lying to us saying that no, it's not a Vince McMahon parody, guys. Come on. And it's just like, it's so inside baseball that like everybody knows that it is. So it's just like, why are you faking it?
I don't think this week's was. I don't think that. Maybe the previous ones, but not this one.
Yeah, this one I think was a little better. Unless there is a Vince McMahon story that I don't know about dress code or something, but it is what it is.
So they had Jake Hager and Moxley packages throughout the show to kind of pad out the show because, there's going to be a no-holds-barred championship match next week. One thing to note that they said about Jake Hager is, like, he's the only wrestler who's doing, like, MMA and wrestling at the same time. Like, nobody else is doing them. And I'm like, hello, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley.
Dan Severn. Mura Suzuki. Fucking Kushida, Shibata. There's a fuck ton of people.
There's Alberto El Patron.
Yeah. There is a lot of funny quotes in this video package. I am not gonna lie. When Jake Hager's wife says, he can't come home if he doesn't win, so I guess he's homeless. I don't. There was. They say like what is it, like he's a champion in everything he does, which like
if you look at who he fought in Bellator, he has not fought like any real contenders. Like I think he fought like one guy that was fresh off the street for him to beat.
Beating up milkmen and plumbers.
Yeah, so like I'm just like, Brock fought like Cain Velasquez. He fought Dan Mir. He fought Randy Couture. He was a champion there.
People would name that hold weight, and also like there's a lot. They promo. We're like, it seems like they're promoting his Bellator fight more than the AEW match, because they mentioned the Bellator fight like 3 times during this.
Well, I don't think that Bellator fight's
and
happening.
like
I think it's getting postponed. I mean, look at UFC. They just got shut down with whatever they were trying to do on a private island. But like, yeah, he said. I think he specifically says like I was supposed to have Bellator fight in May. Since I'm not like I'm already training. Like I'm already having like these train. So like I'm already in peak shape. And then like the whole like. Moxley's never fought anybody like him before. I mean, because they're trying to sell him as a big contender. Like he gave him, the dirty deeds, and then he gets back up and puts him in the ankle lock. Okay, cool. Like you're trying to like build him up as like a guy that could possibly beat Moxley.
It's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
It sucks that they're going to be in a. It sucks that they're going to be in a no arena, but okay.
Well, I mean, we just saw a no holds barred match in an arena. So it's probably going to be along the lines of the same thing. A little bit more hardcore because Moxley's in it.
Yeah.
So you're going to see like, some tables broken and things of that nature, like you saw at Cody and Shawn Spears. Ref was just letting a lot of things go here. Like
Boy, were they. They just
barbell
fuck it.
slams and like Cody getting thrown through a table. Uh, I was just like, okay, like are these championship tournament matches no DQ? Because
Hmm. Uh, yeah, very confusing. Um, I I thought, no, I don't like the Shawn Spears and Cody match. Like, I thought that match was super weird. Um, and I didn't mention it before, but Jericho's on commentary tonight, and he's doing an awful job. I
you
think
didn't like Jericho?
he is absolute dog shit on commentary. When he calls when he calls the goddamn when he couldn't call the Falcon Arrow from Hikaru Shida, right? And I was just like, are you good? um, him constantly like telling people that are in the crowd, whoever the hell they are, that they should shut up. I was like, I thought Cody was a way better color commentator on here. Like, I think Jericho, Britt Baker, and Brandy Rhodes are probably like the top three worst that have been on commentary so far. And Jericho being on this whole episode, Jesus Christ, kill me. I thought he was damn awful. And in this match, like, I don't think he helped. Him trying to be on Shawn Spears' side, but then like Shawn Spears does like a lot of stupid things, and Jericho's just like, "What are you doing?" it doesn't look good for didn't look good for Shawn Spears in the end.
I thought Jericho was trying to be more in lieu of Bobby the Brain Heenan and kind of like being a heel announcer. I could see where there's a lot of zealousness going with his commentary, kind of like with a more like subdued Tony Schiavone. I like some of the banter they had back and forth, but like Jericho's very eccentric, and some of that can overpower a match a little bit.
Yeah.
With Cody and Shawn Spears, I like this better than their first match. I thought this was kind of Shawn Spears' best performance that I've seen singles with him in AEW, but then again, with me saying all of that, it was just the kind of another match to me. Like it was it was another longer match, and I think when we see these tapings, you're going to see a lot of longer matches. I knew Cody was going to win. I think everybody knew that Cody was going to win. If the Jake the Snake promo in the beginning didn't tip you off to who's going to be in the finals, then I don't know. But I don't know what to tell you. But at the same time, like, you get what you expected from Cody. You get expected with Shawn Spears. It's not going to be, amazing, but it's going to be a serviceable match, I guess. So, yeah, that's what I kind of thought about it. Like, it's just like, oh, it's all right. It's okay, They tried to play in a little bit of their history, but that is long past, and Shawn Spears' character has changed, and like like that doesn't really work at this point. But yeah,
Nah, like this match, when, because it really takes what takes what kind of kills the match for me, when Cody goes through the table. They're doing the count out thing, and then when Cody gets back into the ring, Shawn Spears is just going, "Oh my God, how do you get back up? Oh my God, how you got back up?" And then everybody on commentary is just like, "What are you doing? Go beat his ass. Stop whining. Go beat his ass." And then Shawn Spears is like still with his like face into the mat, just going, "Oh my God, how do you get back up?" And it's just like, you look dumb here, and then he kicks out of 2 crossroads.
Yeah,
You know,
the finish is a little wonky. Like 2 crossroads,
he
and then he puts him in the figure four.
he puts him in a figure four, and he doesn't even submit. He pins himself.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that's kind of I that whole 5 or 6 minute ending stretch was kind of like, all right,
Like, is
but
this amateur hour?
well, it's just it's weird because it's like, all right, you hit him with 2 crossroads and he kicks out. Are you trying to make Sean, and then with the figure four, it's a pin? Are you still trying to make Sean Spears look strong in defeat? I'm not really sure what you're trying to do, because that makes, with Cody doing all this stuff and not really putting Sean away after doing the whole table thing, it makes Cody look weaker, because you know what I mean?
Uh, this match is ridiculous, man. like I like it's better than the first match, which is cool. Um, but that ending stretch just kind of just like, Jesus Christ, like, what are you doing here, guys? Like, what booking are you going for here? What are you trying to do with Sean Spears? What are you like really trying to do with Cody here? Um,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
like being compared to their first match, like the bar is on the floor.
I yeah, I mean, I guess I can see where people are saying that. I it's weird. It's then again, like if you have Cody versus Sammy Guevara, or Cody versus Darby Allin, it's gonna be the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any
Well,
final?
we'll
Oh,
see.
go ahead.
We'll see. I think Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin wrestle both different styles compared to Sean Spears.
Well, yeah.
So it might not be the same deal, but it might be like a Cody trying to like, pseudo get him like, making himself look strong. But I think he'll make those other two look really good.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he's fought both of them before.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. We will see. There is, of course, you got this next quarterfinals match with Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin next week, along with the No Holds Barred match for the AEW Championship between Jake Hager and Jonathan Moxley. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Um, it took 3 weeks before Matt Hardy got his compound involved, and I that's all I got to say.
Well, yeah, come on. I mean, you knew that was going to happen.
It took 3 weeks for him to get his compound involved.
You you didn't see that happen? You didn't see that coming? Like, come on.
I'm just saying, this master of reinvention, this genius idea that the WWE is missing out on. We seen your house before, bro. It's
Yo,
ain't shit,
y'all really hate Matt
ain't shit
Hardy,
new
man.
here.
You guys hate Matt Hardy.
Like no, like I don't hate Matt Hardy. I just hate like how everybody's gonna cap for him. When he, oh man, I don't really like how I'm being booked. Like, dude, you could barely walk. Like,
Well, some people. Okay, all right. Let's get back to circle back a bit and kind of go off the A show's point, because we had the Boneyard Brawl this weekend, and then we had the Firefly Funhouse. Okay,
mhm.
those had elements of what Okay, first off, we got to give props to Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground really started that whole
Always.
like cinematic thing. And then they did it, Matt Hardy did kind of do it in TNA Impact, but, depending on who you asked, a big component of that was Jeremy Borash. Jeremy Borash was
Hmm.
really like one of the big architects of that. So, reading reports, the Boneyard match was kind of done by with Borash and NXT more so, and then the main roster did the Firefly Funhouse. They were both great, by the way. I loved both of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they're great.
yeah, like I've said, like previous shows, like some people may still love that, but I think that as you watch, AEW and how this plays out, I don't know if it's gonna play out the way that they think. Like, you know what I mean? Like it may be because I feel like the Boneyard thing and the Firefly Funhouse and just presentation of what they did was it felt so new and fresh. Like everything that like we could have just got a fiend John Cena match, but the way they did it, I was just like all the
Yeah.
references and every. I'm like this is like a cinematic universe here. You know, if they don't
Yeah.
with Matt Hardy and like Broken Matt, they somebody has to be there to inject new ideas because I feel like if you just keep on doing the same stuff, then it's gonna be like I told you so. Like it's like all right, this is the same thing. If he can inject some newness into it, I'm all for it. But as of right
Yeah.
now, it just seems like he's just doing kind of the same thing, and I don't think
Um,
I even think even in AEW, I think that's gonna wear thin after a while.
yeah. Like you said, it's fresh and new, and Matt Hardy inviting somebody into his house or his compound is not fresh and new. We've seen this before,
Well,
you know.
It's fresh and new
So
to that audience, but to us, this isn't
n-
fresh and new. Like we've seen the final
come
deletion.
on,
No, I'm
you
saying
know, the AEW, crowd has seen this before.
no. I'm not. I'm just saying in that program. I'm not saying to the audience. I'm just saying in that in that
Okay.
corporation, it's
Yeah.
new. We've seen listen, everybody. You can YouTube. The stuff they have with Decay and the final deletion. Like we've all
Hmm.
seen it. Like we saw. The stuff he did with Bray Wyatt, like we've all seen it, and a lot of it is with Vanguard One, and the stuff that they're doing now. Like it's like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. Now it may be to an audience, AEW that might like it more, but even then, if you don't inject some new DNA into this, I think that it's gonna get wear thin with them eventually. I really do. Because you can't keep on doing the same thing. Like WWE has shown you something new.
Hmm. And if Jericho is going to be all that is fresh and new in this, then like it's gonna fail because like you can't just have one person injecting new ideas into this. Like it has to be a collaborative project in a sense. So it's just like it is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
like get Darby Allin. Get Darby Allin
Like turn,
involved or something
yeah,
like that.
right. Like, or just do something different. Like you know,
No, I mean
make your
like
house make the compound look different at least. Fuck.
yeah,
Uh, it's just the same old stuff.
yeah. Well, that does it for our show this week. We will be back next week. There's going to be new shows, thankfully with NXT and both AEW. As always, you can follow us at RNC Radio Live on Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our channels. Subscribe to our podcast. We have a new First Responders up. Talk about Drake's Tootsie Slide and Thundercat's new album. Also, they talk about Frank Ocean and where he places on the rap. I know this has been a hot Twitter topic since like all those like head-to-head battles have come up.
Hmm.
So that's fun. Of course, we have a brand new episode of the A Show. They talk about WrestleMania, and they brought back hot takes. We have a new episode of. We also have like a new episode of It's the Challenge because the Challenge is back, thankfully, because new TV is drying up, which sucks. A new episode of the Big Eyes podcast. Jamal's talking about latest chapters of My Hero Academia, One Punch Man. We have a new episode of the Black Variant. to talk about the new MCU schedule since everything got rearranged because of the coronavirus. Potential Birds of Prey sequel and maybe an Injustice movie. Zack Snyder released a Snyder Cut. And we got a new episode of Recalling Saul up as well. Like, listen, you are sitting at home. You know what I mean? Hopefully you have something to do, but like us, you're looking for something. Subscribe to our channel, listen to our shows. Like, we got a load of content on here. So plug in. So for myself and Cyrus, we hope you stay safe. We hope you have a good Easter weekend, and we will talk to you guys next week.